Hello and welcome along and welcome back to No Man's Land. Today we're going to be doing some grass work. We're going to be cutting the grass and yes, I am trying to put, the mower on the front of the tractor, and then we're going to run the windrower off the back. And now I'm hoping this isn't going to throw the windrows into the path of the mower for the next run round. But we'll see. It's a little bit wider than the mower. This may not work. This is my solution to what a lot of people have been asking for, actually. A lot of people have been asking me to run the baler behind the tractor. And I decided that, to me, that's not very realistic. It's not something I've ever seen. I've got nothing to work with for that. So instead I've decided to do it this way so that I am matching up with power levels and everything, but I think this could go slightly wrong and not quite work. So we're gonna try it. We're gonna see how it works on this first row. If it doesn't work, I'll leave the mower on the front and turn the windrower off on the back, and then we can go and do the windrowing afterwards straight away. I must not have connected something up because that is not turning on. Ah, there we go. I had the wrong bit selected. Right, and then turn on that. Drop that down. Drop that down. And hopefully... Oh, wow. That is too low. The mower doesn't work on this front 3-point. We're back to what we were doing before. Yeah, I can't. There's no way this front 3-point will work with this mower. Look at that. It lifts the front wheels off. So no, we can't do it this way, unfortunately. We're back to doing it the way we were before. And that's unfortunate. I had hoped that was going to be something we could do today, but nope. So yeah, I tried. Right, let's take this off, and then we can pull this forward. But yeah, that means this front 3-point link actually is completely useless to me. I can't do anything with it. I can't believe it lifts. Yeah, look at that. Just lifts the tractor clean off the ground. So, oh. Disconnected the wrong bit. Never mind. Let's reconnect you. No. And let's lower first. And then do that. So yeah, we'll get rid of this front 3-point link. It is of absolutely no use on our farm, and instead we're back to doing it this way. And slightly worryingly, we've only got about 3 hours before rain starts to fall, so we need to get this road cut and rowed and then baled as quickly as we can, because yeah, we got some rain. We're not fully grown on this, but it is harvestable. And that is because we are on the last day of spring, and I want to get it into a place where we get 3 cuts this year off our crops. And we're either going to get a low cut now or a low cut later. So we might as well take the low cut now, to be honest. And then later we can come back and get more hay for ourselves later in the year. Now, coming into this corner here, what we're going to do is go and cut across as we'd planned to before. And this is the reason why we are cutting on the 2nd day of May and not on the 3rd, because I want to go right across here and mark out where we're going to plough and extend this field a little bit, going into the next bit. And this should allow us to plough and seed that small corner before the month ends, and in doing so allow us to expand the field and get that little kink out of it that's been causing us so much trouble. I'm also considering planting some trees, maybe in this area and possibly down this side here. I know this, it would get rid of a little bit of field that we've got here, but I don't know if it's worth it or not. We want to put some trees in. I want to put in some trees that I can cut down. That way I'm not going to be damaging the layout of my farm doing it that way. Trees that I put in myself, I have no issues cutting down at all. And as we demonstrated last time, trees are worth actually quite a bit of cash and should probably be a good bit of what we do here on the farm. So yeah, I need to look into that as well and look at places where we could probably plant half a dozen to a dozen trees ready for us to harvest later. The other thing I'd plan to do to this field next time is get a grass roller on it. Make sure that we get it rolled while it's low, get the most out of it for the next time. Somebody did mention in the comments last time that the grass roller I've got in that little Ukrainian equipment pack, that doesn't actually work apparently. So I need to give that a test before the next episode, and hopefully it'll work. And if it doesn't, I should be able to have a look at the settings for the base game stuff and get that fixed. Maybe if not, then what I should be able to do is get hold of another mod. So there are a few others. I don't think we've got anything in the shop today, have we? No. Ooh, 55,000 for that John Deere is really good, but we do not have the money. A second tractor, one with a front 3-point hitch, as we've discovered now, would be really good. How much is this front 3-point hitch worth actually? Because obviously it is not much use to us. So we might get about £2,000 for it, which would be really useful. But if it's lowering stuff way beyond where it's usable to us, we might as well drop it. It's not going to do anything for us. We could put a weight on the front of the tractor is about all it's useful for, and we're not putting anything really heavy enough to require a weight on the back of our tractor. So, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, not putting anything on the back of the tractor that really means that we need a weight on the front of it. So, yeah, I think that that's probably something we can drop and chalk that up to, unfortunately, something not working as it should. Taking that kink out of the field at the far end there has made this field a lot easier to work. We've got a straighter, more rectangular setup, and we still have this big rock in the way, but that's fine. You know, it's all part of the character of it, and you work around it. But definitely, there's now it feels like this field is a little bit bigger, which is good. It's exactly what we were going for with the removal of just a single tree. So that is absolutely great. We now want to get this road up, so I'm just going to go and drop this back off at the farm, and then we'll be able to come and sort this. We've got several areas here where we could plant a few trees actually, and do that. So we might look at that at some point, maybe over the summer. Maybe see if we can hire a tree planter and get that done. It's 120 horsepower to run the tree planter is my only worry. And this is only a 95 horsepower tractor, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, 95 horsepower tractor. So we'd be underpowered by 25 horsepower, which is a little bit more than I think is probably wise. We do have a couple of implements on the farm that are a little bit overpowered or require a little bit too much power for our little Massey here. But it runs them okay. I think going up to 120 horsepower, though, is probably pushing it a bit. Especially with actually a piece of kit like the tree planter, where I don't know a tractor where I haven't had to put a front weight on it to actually use it. So that might be an argument for keeping this front 3-point if we're looking at that. And then we might actually be able to do that. But I'm not really wanting to do that, I don't think. Now, somebody last time asked me why I don't just get the baler behind on this, and then I can do it in less things. This merger here merges 3 rows at once. You basically merge an outer row into a middle one, and yeah, saves you a lot of time doing it that way. And the way to do the ends as well. Let's try and get this. I realise here I've missed a little bit of grass. That's not great, but I missed that. Might have to go back and get my mower in a bit and just get that cut and done. But yeah, see, so now we've taken 3 rows into one instead of having to go 3 times. Yes, we end up doing a couple more runs over here, but to me it works quite well. I think this is pretty good. But yeah, I like this merger. This little merger is great. Now, I don't want to do that way, but actually probably got all 4 of these into here. We'll have to come the other way because I want to pull that away from the edge. And we've got the same thing around here. I want to put all this away from the edge. I'm going to leave that top corner so that I can actually sort that out and get that done. But let's just go from about here-ish and come along here. I'm very aware that we have rain coming around midday, and I'd like to try and get this baled before then. It's already 11:23 though, and I think it's going to be a case of trying to get this baled up as quickly as possible, even in the rain, which is annoying. But yeah, not much I can do about that. One of those days, it's gonna, with any luck, it'll be a short shower. We don't have a weather station on the farm, and I do keep thinking that might be a good purchase at some point to make sure that we get accurate weather forecasts, because it could rain sooner or later based on the weather forecast we've got at the moment. So yeah, I'd like to try and get it so that we're as accurate as possible in the weather, and so that we know what's coming when. Bring this around here, get this all away from the edge, make our lives easier. There we go. And do the same along here. Try not to scrape all of our pines across the rocks. And there we go. So yeah, we'll get this road up and we'll see whether the rain comes before we're done or not. And so pretty much spot on time, the rain begins to fall. Oh man. We want to get this all rode up and baled as quickly as possible now. Get it as little water and as little wet on it as we can. It's thankfully not something that decreases in FS22 based on rain at all. But from a realism point of view, I don't want to be leaving this out in the rain too long to get soaking wet. So we want to get this collected up as quickly as we can and get the whole of this row in. Oh, not quite. There we go. Round like so. And what I try and do, the way I approach this, is try and get the middle of, or get my end section here, the base plate, get that in the middle of the next row to try and then place this current row as close to the middle of it as possible. Then when I come back for the next row, I can do the same, and therefore try and get 3 rows into one rather than 2 rows into one, which works really, really well for the most part, and just means that we end up with bigger piles to work with, which is good because we want to be as efficient in this as we possibly can. And I'm going to come back to here, and yeah, so plate in the middle of this row, and hopefully it will gather up all of the next row into this. And if it does miss some, then we need to try and gather that into the next row. But most of the time, if the cutter's gone well, it will work, and it will do it fine. Oh wow, that is really coming down. It's supposed to rain for 3 hours. Yeah, so 3 o'clock we're looking at the rain stopping. So it is a fair old whack at rain that we're getting down here. Unfortunately, I would like to small shower. This is not one of those. Last row to merge, and we're gonna actually have to merge this in a little bit more because we've got a sort of a separate branching row there. So I'm gonna merge that one in as well. Otherwise, this has gone pretty swimmingly. Pun intended because of the rain. We've got not that many rows to bale up, which is fine. Should get that done fairly quickly. And that will then complete this bit of work for us today. We might see if we can merge in these bits. I also need to go and just cut that last little bit of grass that we missed, because that's annoying that we don't have that. So I need to get that in. We need to get just these few bits in here. So just a little bit of clear up where we weren't quite wide enough to get these bits. We can throw them into the sides of these rows, and that should work okay. Yep, and then we want to do the same on this row here where we've got a few bits. So that needs to go across into this. Seems to be the going from west-east. I was missing these bits for some odd reason. Yeah, I should be able to get these in a little bit further over. Hopefully this isn't too wide to then get picked up by the mower, but we'll see. Sorry, by the baler. The baler has quite a wide pickup, so I think we'll be okay. Bring that in and bring this round and see if we can get that close enough. And yeah, we just need to go and get the mower quickly and get that little bit of grass done. And then I'll get all of this back to the farm, and we can go and... Okay. And we can get this all baled up. Right, let's hook up the baler. So, like so. And get that out to the field so that we can get all of this baled up. It's 2:05, and the rain is still going. So, yeah, it's a bit of a soggy day, and I'm not overly happy. Thankfully, we're selling these bales and not using them. But, yeah. I would say, oh, I hope the quality is good enough to sell, but it doesn't actually make any difference to it. Let's pop out. And we've got an almost full bale straight off the bat, which is really good. We'll get that opened up and off. And that's a really good start, because that is about £4,000 straight away. I would like to thank everybody for their suggestions for a sprayer. There's been a couple of good ones. There's a couple of ones I'm following up. We do want to get a field. Well, we want to get field 1 sprayed. So I want to keep an eye on that and hopefully get a little bit of money to do that. Very much I'm keeping an eye out for the combine at the moment. That's our big thing that we still need to buy next to the next to a grass roller. And that. Oh, no, it turned it off. Didn't mean to do that. There we go. That's the next big thing I need to buy next to the grass roller. So we're looking at needing about 30,000. I think whatever we make on these bales, we will make the difference up with selling a couple of trees, maybe cutting a couple more trees down, thinning out the woodland a bit. The little trees, as we now know, are not really worth anything, but I would like to try and clear them out because they are sort of a low-level bit and get in the way of us planting ones that will grow into bigger trees. So, yeah, there is that I want to do. Oh, wow, this sometimes lifts this tractor. I think it's when it hits a particularly high piece of grass. The tractor gets lifted at the back. It takes it has trouble getting that much grass into the baler, which is quite something. There we go. There is no... I really would quite like to see an issue with trying to bale with wet grass or things like that with rain. You know, something like the machine slows down or you get a slightly... or it takes slightly longer to bale it up. That would be good. So if it's raining, then it takes longer to bale. Or you get slightly less than the baler would be good, but it's a difficult mechanic, really. There we go. I didn't overly like the one in Seasons in FS19 where you lost a lot of the material on the ground if it rained. It got a little bit sharp and a little bit. It was a little bit too much of a penalty. But I do love that they had something in there that makes a difference. You know, this is exactly what I'm talking about, is that I wish there was some mechanic in there. I think it was just, yeah, I think it ended up, especially if you had rows on the ground, you would lose about half of whatever you had on the ground just by it raining for an hour. And it just, yeah, it was a little bit much for that. And it was the same with the bales. The bales rotted very quickly. There we go. Let's get this backed up. And out. Right, so we've got a decent number of bales on here. How many are we at the moment? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're heading for 8 bales. That is a really nice number off this field. Shows this field is actually a really good little grass field we've got here. Will be absolutely perfect for us when we get the sheep. We'll only really need to do maybe 1 cut a year if they're going to eat. Even if they eat that much hay, I'd be surprised if they did. So it should work really well for us. I don't think we'll get another bale off here. There's not a lot of grass left on here. Yeah, that's only 14%, and we've only got this short road to go. So 8 bales is a really, really great number. We can easily fit 8 bales on our trailer as well. So I am very, very happy with that. That has worked out well for us. There's a little bit of grass left here. Let's just grab that quickly. There we go. Right, baler off. 30% grass left in our baler. And yeah, we can now head back and get this switch out for our bale wrapper. So let's drop off the baler. And then switch round to the bale wrapper. I've made everything accessible in this shed now. Just parking the tractor in the middle. Really good. Keeping my eye out for a second tractor eventually on here. That way we could hire somebody to do one piece of work while we're doing another. Although, to be perfectly honest, with running 3-day months, we have more than enough time to get everything we need to do on here. Do we have some lettuce? Oh, we have our first pallet of lettuce out. So, beginning of summer, we're going to be selling some more produce as well. We know that we can get a decent amount of money for that. So we should be okay. We are all connected up. Let's unfold that. Perfect. And then we can start wrapping some bales. And we're going to do the same thing with these as we've been doing with the others. We're going to plonk them into this small grass area here. And just let them ferment. And then they are out of the way and we can continue to work the field, which is great. Somebody did say actually in one of the comments, I think for the last video, is if I was treating meadow grass as a crop, why not treat the trees as a crop? I actually wasn't. I was treating the so I was cutting the grass first to help us raise a bit of money, and then going from there. The grass on here, the idea is actually to use it to feed the animals, and do it that way. But at the moment, we're having to use it to make money because we have no other means. Once we get through the first harvest this year, I think we're going to be much better off money-wise, and we're going to be able to expand the farm nicely. I also have a little bit of resistance to doing too much forestry on here for two reasons. One, everybody does forestry on here. Forestry is a thing that you watch any creator who's on no man's land. They are probably going to be doing forestry. And the second is that I like to shape my farm around what's naturally here. So taking out all of the forest and cutting it all down, it means that I'm changing it a little too much. I don't mind taking out the odd tree here and there, but I want to try and maintain the woodlands as they are. Which is why I was talking about earlier looking at planting some trees so that we do have a little bit of woodland crop, and and we go for that a little bit more. So yeah, there's a couple of reasons why I'm not going the forestry route on here, and just trying to do a bit more of an arable and farm setup as well. So yeah, let me know what you think. That's my reasoning. That's why I've gone the way I've gone. Right, just 3 more to go, and then that's actually gonna be a really good day's worth of work. Getting this field done and dusted. We're gonna plow that little kink out next time, get that reseeded while the grass is nice and low. We're also gonna get the roller, a grass roller on here, one grass roller or another. We'll see what we can pick up. We have raised the money to get one, so I want to do that. And yes, we are still on the lookout for a sprayer. So if we can get that and sort that as well, that would be good. Last bale. Come in, grab that, and then we can head back this way. And that is then our bales all done and collected. I think we're going to put honey on this point in the end. Put a beehive and probably try and make some money that way on here as well. I think certainly the animals are how I'm looking to progress after the first harvest. So we're keeping an eye on that, and yeah, looking to go that way with that, which should work well for us, I think. But there we are. That is that field done and dusted for the day, and it is 4:30. I think we're pretty good. I think that's a nice complete job. Next time we are going to go and plow that kink out of the field. We will then get it all set up. Well, we'll plow the kink out. We'll get rid of any stones. We can then go and get that reseeded. The rest of the field rolled, along with obviously where we seed. And yeah, get that field done and dusted. And if we have time, We might get some... We might get some spraying done if we can find a sprayer. But our field over here... This, I think, has some more growing to do before we reach a point where we can't spray it. So it may be something that we look at doing in the summer, in sort of June time. Otherwise, I think we're all good. So that's where we're going to end it for today. All that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel, ring that bell, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.